Hi folks, welcome once again to the Gaz Lab, and I thought I'd go back to the 705. Programming the 705 is one of the questions I'm asked quite a lot. It is fairly easy to do from the front panel. What you need to do is you need to set the frequency that you're after, set the shift that you're after, set the tone and set the tone type, whichever you like, and the actual tone itself. Once you've done that and your radio is actually then tripping the repeater from what you've got there, you simply touch on the memo VFO icon on the screen, just gently touch it, and then it will pop up with a memory sort of section where you can actually memory write. And what you do is you commit it to a channel into a group, and you can choose the different group if you wish. But it's much easier to do the software. So let's head off over to the screen we've got here. Now this is the software actually running, but let me just run through how I got to that point. And here are my 3 stages. So what I'll do is I'll put them to the thing. So we've got stage 1, 2, and then 3. But let me show you how I got here. So what we need to do is we need to head over, to Icom Japan. Now, once you get to Icom Japan, you want to navigate your way over to the support section and find the software for the 70 CS, or it's called CS-705. You simply scroll down, you check that you have read and fully understood and agree with the above terms and conditions, and you say download. Now I'm using Google Chrome, and what it does is it creates a little download down the side here, which you can just simply drag onto your desktop. Now I've already done that. If you're using something like Explorer or Edge or whatever it's called nowadays, Safari, it doesn't work on a Mac. I'm sorry about that, and I don't think there ever will be a way around that. So if you're using Edge or Explorer, then you might need to go up to the download sort of section and go into it that way. And I think there's another way from down here as well, where you can go into download somewhere here. Mine's not configured for that. Maybe it's in there. Is it down there? Oh my gosh, I've lost it. I call myself a Windows person. It is. It in there somewhere. There you go. So you could get through it that way. All right. Right, now then. So what we've done is we've now got this. We've dragged it onto the desktop, and there it is here. Now if we double click and open that, you can see inside that we've got the actual root folder, the CS version 103, and you just simply drag that onto your desktop. Okay, and then that takes us to stage 2, and there it is. So if we open that up, inside there we have a setup exe file. That's what we're after. We can simply double click on that if you're already logged in as admin, or if you need to install it as admin, you can right mouse click on it and just say run as admin, as administrator. It might be interesting to see how this could interact with, say, antivirus software. Of late, I'm actually seeing antivirus software interfering with quite a lot of installs. So do keep an eye on that. If you have any troubles, it might be worthwhile just disabling the antivirus while you install this, and then reinstate it pretty quickly after. And you can always run a scan as well if you're worried. But it's ICOM, they're not likely to cause you any grief. So once you've done that, we've run the file, and that will essentially then take us to the next stage, which is the CS-705 itself. And this is the shortcut. You can just double click on that and up will pop this. So I'm going to make this larger for you, and then we can just pop along here and you can see all the different things here. Now, earlier on I mentioned groups. Now I've actually got one group in there which I've called 00. Well, actually it already names that by itself, but I've called it A repeaters for analog repeaters, and I'm only interested in analog repeaters. I'm not interested in much else. You can give the repeater a name, okay, or that particular channel name, and you can set up then the frequency. And here I've set up the receive frequency, I've set up the duplex, the fact that it's going to lift the frequency by 7.6 megs, It's in FM mode. It already describes its own filter or prescribes its own filter. I've set a tone here. You can set the different tones. I've just set tone. Then I've set the actual the tone rate, and you can pick from a whole little list there if you double click on that. Everything else you can leave pretty much as is, and that is how you essentially program a repeater from the get-go. Now, before you start really getting into this, probably what I would recommend is that before you start, you need to read from the radio before you write. So I've kind of done this around the wrong way, but just humour me. Imagine we hadn't done that. Okay, we've just started the program up for the first time. I do apologise. I've had a moment. Head over to the COM port. Now, if you remember rightly, at some point we would have already spoken about COM ports and how to find out which one it is, but I'll run over it quickly again. It needs to know which the COM port, which the radio is plugged into, because the radio I've got here at the moment, the 705, is plugged in via a USB cable directly into my PC. You can also do this from an SD card if you so wish, but I don't do that. I'm doing it from the cable. So we need to find out which the COM port is. We simply head over to the search function. Here we just type in device manager. That pops up. This brings us to this page. We can have a look at our COM port. Now I happen to know that it's this USB serial device on COM8. So you need to find that particular USB serial device and pick one and give it a go, basically. So what I've done here, I've come over to the COM port setting, set it for COM port 8. I then said OK. Now at this point we really want to be doing a read, so we need to do a clone read. So you can see the little PC there with an arrow pointing at it. You click on that one and it's asking me to save changes. I don't need to save changes, I'm not bothered. Now it will read from the radio. There you go, that's actually done. Now when I actually go back into, let's just say digital, we don't need to go in there, memory channels, group, and we can actually see what I've already programmed in before. Now, obviously, if you want to put, let's go into the calling channel here. You can see I've put in the calling channel here. That's just another one probably to look at. You can actually set the calling channels there. So here I've actually got the digital D-Star calling channel, a standard UHF calling channel. That one there I've left. I could put the VHF D-Star calling channel in there if I wanted. And in here I've actually put the standard analog calling channel. But if we go over to group here, I can actually right mouse click on that. I can go to add a group, so I could add another one if I wanted, or this one here, I've called it A repeaters for analog repeaters. I can right mouse click on that. I can edit the name, I can clear it, I can delete it, I can import it, export it, do whatever I like. That's absolutely fine. What else can we do with it? I'm not going to go into huge detail with this. It's just the basics with this. But here, this could be GB3, AD. So there you go. We can put him in there. You can put it in nice capitals as you wish. And here we can actually set the frequency we want to do. So that it might be on, say, 145 spot 600. It might be on 600. I don't know what happened then. The thing went a bit wrong. Still recording. So this could be on 145 600. It could be a minus shift, and it could be 500, and it might be on LSB, but it's not. It could be on FM there, and this could be set for a tone, and it could be 88.5. But we can change that for whatever we want, and that is it. It is really that simple. And then all we have to do is go over to the clone, and we just say write, and it will write that all to the radio. And if you click on the whole thing there and then hit delete, it will delete the whole line. That is how easy this is. It's nothing difficult. Now, what I would do is urge you to get over to Icom Japan and make sure you get that file down, because who knows, in the future they might sort of withdraw it. It's not on your server or anything like that, so you have no real control. I hope that wasn't too difficult to follow and not too boring. And if you enjoyed that, or if it was helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and hit the notifications for other silly stuff. Who knows what it might be next time? Could be walking down the river with a camera, or it could be playing a bit more with the 705. And I think next time it'll be a bit of 705 with something else. I've got something lined up with the Raspberry Pi with that. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Ta-da.